Today we have a look at mask recommendations, the new movie Marry Me, and much more.
We have today's weather forecast with Madison and a look at sports with Eli.
Today is Wednesday, February 9th, 2022.
We are live from Shroyer Studio H12 on the campus of Bradley Central High School, and you are watching Vox News Today.
Welcome back. I am Alex Wingard.
And I am Amber Filiaw.
A Utah dad who talked a man out of jumping off a bridge is talking about the dramatic incident. The two men have been in touch and now share an emotional bond. Fear quickly evolved to love for a total stranger as Joe Chuiana held his arms out and said, "I love you," to the man who was ready to jump. 2 weekends ago, Joe helped this man down off an I-15 overpass. Today he got a message thanking him. The message started out, "I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for saving my life. I pray to Heavenly Father to help me and guide me to the right path." The message also said he's doing okay. Joe has spoken to the man privately and now calls him as his friend.
A teen country singer is facing charges in Spartanburg County, South Carolina after crashing into a building Tuesday afternoon, fatally injuring a man inside. 17-year-old Caleb Kennedy is charged with felony DUI resulting in death after driving onto a private driveway and running into a building on the property. Police say the victim, 54-year-old Larry Duane Paris, was transported to the hospital but later died from his injuries. Kennedy appeared on American Idol last season and made it to top 5 before abruptly leaving the show after a controversial social media post resurfaced online.
Canada's protests are getting more and more serious. Canadians are flooding the streets on foot, in cars, and in trucks to protest the nation's COVID-19 restrictions. Duran, a truck driver, says he's staying on the road until the end, until everything is over, until problems get solved. These hordes of protesters are continuing to fight for their freedom, so much so that one of the most important border supply chains in the world has become paralyzed.
Pilots reported 11 lasers aimed at planes and around the Tacoma International Airport on Monday night. This follows 4 laser strikes last week, and pilots are concerned. These lasers create blinding lights for pilots behind the wheel. For Deputy Josh Sweeney, being hit with one causes a lot of blindness, kind of a disorienting feeling. You get this dazzle across the whole windscreen. Even with night vision goggles, these bright lights could permanently damage someone's eyesight.
Ukraine gains more support from other countries. The leader of Japan, Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, and Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau agreed to supporting Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. During a 30-minute phone call conference on Wednesday, the two leaders shared their concern on the crisis in Ukraine and Russia and agreed to cooperate as they monitor the situation. Japan's Foreign Minister Yoshimasa Hayashi and U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken also discussed concerns and tensions in Ukraine last week. The ministers agreed to continue monitoring Russia's military buildups in areas near the border of Ukraine, according to Japan's MOFA.
U.S. officials claim that Putin could order an attack against Ukraine at any time. It's the story we've been hearing for a couple weeks now as tensions remain the same, intense. Support for Ukraine continues to grow as Russia's army builds up. Kharkiv, Ukraine, is one of the most vulnerable cities if Russia invades the country, and it has been declared a Russian target by the Ukrainian president. Residents are preparing to counter any Russian threats, and many refuse to evacuate, claiming that they will defend their home and their family. Ukraine says it has expanded its military, yet it is long behind Russia's military might.
Baby formula shortages have some families scrambling for formula. According to a market research firm, infant formula inventories at stores in mid-January were down 17% from where they were in mid-February 2020. Drugstore chain Walgreens alerted its customers about isolated formula shortages at its stores worldwide in November. It said it's still facing tight inventory. An Amazon spokesperson said it's working closely with its vendors to get formula products back in stock as quickly as possible. And Walmart said any shortages of formula at its stores were related to capacity issues on the manufacturing end. Meanwhile, CVS said it's continuing to work with its national brand baby formula vendors to address the issue, and it regrets any inconvenience its customers may be experiencing.
The Smithsonian National Museum of American History wants you to share photos from your visit to Disneyland or Walt Disney World for a new project. Museum officials are looking for pictures from all decades to show how the theme park has changed over time. Candid photos, posed photos, and even blurry photos are fair game. Be sure to share a story of what the visit meant to you. The museum won't be able to use all images due to limited space, and privacy and permission rules will also impact which images can be used.
And now let's check on our weather. Madison, what can you tell us?
We've had a very cold morning, and I'll have information on that and more right after this break.
Wow, college already.
Yeah. We gotta go.
I love you.
I love you too, Daddy. And thanks for everything.
Gratitude. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
That sounds awful. Seriously, awful.
But a lot better than last week.
We weren't born to follow.
Final round. Fight.
Welcome back. I'm Madison Johnston with your weather, and let's go ahead and take our weather at glance for today. Right now in Cleveland, it's 29 degrees with a high of 61 and a low of 31. The precipitation for today is 1%, and the winds will be 2 miles per hour. Humidity is at 94%, and the dew point is 27. Visibility is 9 miles, and the UV index is 0 out of 10. And let's look at our local radar. In Cleveland, there is nothing in the area, and now let's look at our national radar. There's a storm front moving out of Florida, which will be moving off into the Atlantic Ocean, and there are scattered showers in the middle of the United States. And now let's look at our 7-day weather. Wednesday will be sunny with a high of 54 and a low of 48. Thursday will be mostly sunny with a high of 65 and a low of 41. Friday, the sunny skies are staying around with a high of 45 and a low of 24. Saturday will be partly cloudy with a high of 46 and a low of 26. Sunday will also be partly cloudy with a high of 53 and a low of 28. And Monday and Tuesday will be sunny with a high of 53 and a low of 26 and a high of 52 and a low of 27. That's all I have for weather, and now here's Eli with your sports report.
If you missed the Bradley Walker basketball game, some more Olympics, and the new Tom Brady's new news release, we'll have more on those stories and more after this break.
Well, you're wrong.
I'm wrong. You're the one who misrepresented us.
Are you kidding?
Your proposal's ludicrous.
My proposal will go exactly the way I say it will.
My dead body.
I think somebody needs a timeout.
Oh, that's the power of one.
Civility. Pass it on.
One grain of sand can turn the tide.
I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike one. I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike two. I'm the greatest hitter in the world! Strike three. Wow! I'm the greatest pitcher in the world! Yes!
Optimism. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back. I'm Eli Dunn with your sports. 3 little words on a swimsuit caused a lot of controversy at a Wisconsin swim meet. A 12-year-old girl was initially told she could not compete Sunday because her Black Lives Matter suit was considered political language. But as Natalie Grant reports, she did not get to race. Thanks to help from community activists, the officials said if Leedy did not change, she would be disqualified. In the end, Leedy was able to compete in her Black Lives Matter suit, but for those who were there to support her in this incident shed light on an ongoing problem in the community. The Beijing Olympic Committee identified 24 new COVID-19 cases among Olympics-related personnel as of Sunday. It said on a statement on Monday, of the 24 cases, 11 were found among new airport arrivals and 13 from those already in the closed loop system, which separates Olympic athletes, skate holders, and staff from the public. 12 of the 24 new cases involved athletes or teams officials, 5 of which were inside the closed loop. A total of 8,907 COVID-19 cases have been conducted inside the closed loop since January 23rd, and 12,697 people have arrived in Beijing. Beijing Winter Olympics mascot Bing Duen Duen is a big hit at the games. The mascots are eliciting huge cheers from crowds, sometimes louder than those heard. Let's take a look at our Olympics medal count. We got Norway sitting at the top with 4 gold, 2 silver, and 4 bronze, total of 10 medals. Germany sitting at second, 4 gold, 2 silver, and 0 bronze, 6 total. Sweden at third, fourth, 4 gold, 1 silver, and 2 bronze, a total of 7. Netherlands the same at 3 gold, 3 silver, and 1 bronze at 7. People's Republic of China sitting at 3 gold, 2 silver, and no bronze at 5 total of medals. Tom Brady is never far away from the NFL's news cycle, and based on the latest statements from the recently retired quarterback, his heart might have not strayed too far away from the playing field either. The quotes presented on a direct contradiction to the lengthy thank you note he released a week ago that bid adieu to football, and despite officially riding off into the sunset with a letter, Brady revealed on his podcast, Let's Go, that his goodbye could be in fact a simple see you later. The Tennessee Titans have extended the contracts of general manager John Robinson and head coach Mike Vrabel. The new followed the Titans' 12-5 regular season in 2021, where the Titans claimed the #1 seed in the American Football Conference, also known as the AFC, for the first time since 2008. Vrabel matched the franchise record for 43 wins over the first 4 seasons, with the team joining Jack Party. Bradley and Walker both got 1 win on both sides of the ball, boys and girls. The Barretts rolled into town with the 21-3 record versus a 6-12 Walker Valley team. The Barretts rolled past Walker Valley 82-40 with a bunch of girls on and off the bench putting up baskets. Meanwhile, for the boys, with the heartbreaking final missed shot by Trevor Carpenter, they went on to lose that game 44-42, with Brandon Chabert putting up 13 points and a bunch of Bears right behind him. That is all I have for sports. Stay tuned for more news right after this break.
CRCC to me is a calling that God placed on my life to really step out in faith on something that I didn't think I could do, and it's been amazing to see how God's worked through it.
CRCC stands for Crossroads Community Church, but we're a church that our vision is to be a life-giving church in our community. We do that through helping people know God, find freedom, discover their purpose, and then go make a difference. And so that's what we're doing every week, is helping people discover their jam and go make a difference.
broke Old Man Hennessy's window.
Correction, dude. You broke. I just threw the ball.
This is really bad. What are we gonna do? Dude, kiss your life goodbye.
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
Keep smiling, keep shining. No,
Hi.
Tell him it was an accident, and we can fix the window. I'll come with you.
that's what friends are for.
Welcome back.
Uli released dash cam video displays two officers jump to safety when a Tesla on autopilot crashed into a deputy's cruiser. The Tesla rammed into the deputy. It hit the cruiser, which was then pushed into a state control car. It happened on the side of the road in Nash County in August 2020. Authorities said the driver was watching a movie on his cell phone. He was taken into custody. He told police he looked down for a minute. Tesla says its autopilot feature requires active driver supervision, and it does not make the car autonomous.
Researchers from Norway created a model of what might happen if someone replaced a typical Western diet, which focuses on red meat and processed food, with more fruits and vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and nuts. According to the study, if a woman began eating a plant-based diet at age 20, she could increase her lifespan by more than 10 years. A man eating the healthier diet from age 20 could add 13 years to his life. By starting at age 60, a woman could expand her lifespan by 8 years, and a man could almost add 9 years.
Tennessee lawmakers are once again considering a bill that would ban teaching LGBTQ+ issues in public schools. Rep. Russ Griffley, who is sponsoring the bill, says Tennessee public schools should focus students' attention on academics, curriculum, and student success in reading and mathematics. Griffey says that the amount of queer content in schools is hard to estimate, but he adds that LGBTQ+ content could offend those with Christian values. Currently, this bill is under fiscal review. Representative Griffley tells us this bill is an effort to make improvements in Tennessee's education system.
A Tennessee woman convicted of stabbing her 4 children to death was sentenced to life in prison Tuesday. Gardner's lawyers argued an insanity defense, but the judge rejected it. Prosecutors agreed she has a mental disease, but said she understood the wrongfulness of her actions. She was found guilty on 4 counts of each of premeditated first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, murder in the perpetration of aggravated child abuse, aggravated child neglect involving a deadly weapon, and murder in the perpetration of aggravated child neglect involving a deadly weapon.
Starbucks fired 7 workers who were involved in unionizing in Memphis, Tennessee, fueling accusations that the company is retaliating against the growing labor movement at its locations across the United States. Starbucks denied that the firings were linked to the employees' organizing efforts. A company spokesman, Reggie Borges, said the works were fired for serious security violations. The firings stemmed from an incident last month in which the employees allowed members of the media into the store as part of the public launch of their unionization effort.
An early morning house fire Wednesday claimed 2 lives, according to the McMinn office. McMinn County deputies and several volunteer fire departments responded to the blaze just after 4 a.m. on County Road 361 near Neota. Fire investigators from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation are at the fire scene to conduct their investigation due to the loss of life. Area residents are asked to avoid the area due to the presence of emergency vehicles and the investigation work underway.
If you own a Hyundai or Kia, listen up. Certain models are spontaneously catching fire. A recall has been issued for about 350,000 Hyundai Santa Fe and Tucson SUVs, and Kia is recalling about 125,000 K900 sedans and Sportage SUVs. Dealers need to inspect the vehicles to see if they need any new parts, at no cost to the owners. The problem is with the anti-lock brake computer control module. It can short circuit and cause a fire. It's happened to at least 3 vehicles so far. In the meantime, Hyundai and Kia are telling owners they can still continue to drive the vehicles, but to park outside and away from buildings. To check if your vehicle is involved in the recall, contact a Kia dealer or the company's customer service department.
2 fishermen were rescued Monday from a sinking ship off the coast of Alaska. It happened around 9 p.m. near Sitka. That's just outside the state's capital of Juneau. The U.S. Coast Guard said the fishermen were unable to stop the flooding on their 40-foot vessel, so a rescue swimmer advised them to abandon the ship. A helicopter was then able to hoist them to safety.
On average, COVID-19 cases are dropping in the U.S. as we push past the Omicron peak. Some of the dozen or so states with mask mandates are updating their policies as soon as today. Others are already committing to ending mask mandates for schools. That's despite warnings from the CDC that it's too soon for such changes. Republican-led states are less likely to have mask mandates in place now. Some conservative governors even prohibit such requirements.
Jennifer Lopez is back on the big screen in the rom-com Marry Me. Lopez plays a pop singer planning to get married on stage. In the movie, when the live stream wedding concert goes off the rails, Valdez does something unexpected. Colombian singer-songwriter Maluma plays the philandering Bastion. Marry Me explores the possibilities of what might happen when a superstar marries an average Joe as a joke and discovers that perhaps there are no accidents. Marry Me is directed by Kat Coro and was released on February 11, 2022.
We are on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube through our channel BCHS VOX News.
You will also find more online at our website, voxnews.net.
Remind your friends to like, subscribe, share, and tune in.
You just cannot get enough of Vox.
That is all we have for you today from Studio H12 at Bradley Central.
And as always,
God
bless and go Bears!